Public art, creating meaning and connection. Thank you all for being here. I think that it's now old news that the City of Calgary has a 1% for public art policy. After all, we've been seeing the resulting investments in art across our urban landscape for the last 8 years, since City Council, our elected leaders, determined that public art was indeed an important element in a healthy, vibrant city. Since then, the question that we've been asking ourselves is why? Why are we doing public art? And why is public art important? And of course, that is exactly the question that I've been asked to address today. So, I'm hoping that you will acknowledge that devising a definitive answer regarding the significance of a qualitative experience in somebody else's daily life is not really something that I can answer. Because of course the variables are numerous, certainly, and they are as unique as each one of us in the room. That is to say, the reason why it is important to me will most definitely be different from the reasons why it's important to each one of you. Nevertheless, since I agreed to speak this morning, I did find some answers for you. Public art contributes to our city aesthetically by introducing artful elements to our public spaces. It also contributes economically through job creation for artists, fabricators, engineers, welders, electricians, and so forth, and by attracting visitors as well as creative thinkers to move here and hopefully choose to stay here. It contributes socially by bringing diverse groups of people together to inform the process and work collaboratively to create something that has never been done before. Public art also can contribute to our city environmentally by bringing our awareness to our natural resources and our individual roles in the stewardship of those resources. It contributes culturally by introducing and providing new art experiences in our urban environment. And last but not least, I do believe that public art contributes spiritually by fostering the creation of meaning and connection in our lives. Yes, you say, yes, that makes sense. That all sounds really good, and off you go. But then sometime later, another piece of art is installed, and you find yourself a little less than satisfied with it, a little uneasy about it. And you come back to that place of asking, why do we do this again? Why is public art important? Well, I've just given you the 6 reasons why it's important. So if that is not satisfying for you, what I can suggest is that perhaps I don't have the right answer, the one that you are looking for, which I imagine is a bit disappointing since you've paid money and taken time to be here. However, what I would do is to ask you to consider a couple more questions. Why is art important? Why is the artist important? Yes, this does take us to a more philosophical place, but isn't that precisely the point? The role of the artist in society is one that resonates throughout history. The artist has always been there making art. So what does that tell us? It tells me that there's an inherent human need to create and to express ourselves, and art is the mechanism through which we do that. It is how we create meaning. Through art, we rationalize and reflect on the world around us. We tell our stories, we celebrate our achievements, and we dream about that which does not yet exist. This past weekend, as I was thinking about what I would say today, I came across an article about the work of Viktor Frankl, a prominent Jewish psychiatrist who spent time in a concentration camp where he lost his family but survived. He wrote a book titled Man's Search for Meaning, which I must now find. or happy to accept as a gift. His findings on the difference between those that survived the camps and those that didn't came down to meaning. Simply stated, those who believed their life had meaning found ways to survive. Those that lost sight of the meaning in their lives did not. Now, I mention this anecdote not only in the hopes of receiving a gift, but to demonstrate the extent to which meaning is an integral factor in our existence as human beings. Frankl also said that the uniqueness and singleness which distinguishes each individual and gives meaning to his existence has a bearing on all creative work. This is precisely why I can't answer the question about the importance of art, because the meaning behind its existence is unique to each one of us. We create our own individual meaning based on our values and beliefs. And that meaning becomes a part of our existence. It becomes our connection to our world around us, to our city, to our communities, to our neighbors, to our friends, to our own innermost selves, adding one more element to the definition of who we are. Now, what happens with public art? Well, with public art, it takes that notion of meaning making out of the studio, out of the gallery, out of the museum, and literally thrusts it into the public realm. So no longer do we have the luxury of a quiet, contemplative space to be with the art and to take our time, having chosen to go to that location, to consider, process, and develop our personal meaning. No. Public art is put out there in the space that you share with the rest of your community, and the making of meaning must now happen both individually and collectively by virtue of the fact that it's now public. Public art is a trigger for discourse that struggles to find communal meaning. Suddenly, it doesn't feel as personal and is now influenced by our shared values and beliefs, peppered with the assumptions and opinions of those around us. The context of place also becomes as relevant a factor as the art itself, contributing to the meaning of it. So the bottom line is, as Craig said, public art forces us to think. Whether it obstructs us, delights us, or annoys us, it encourages us to pause and consider the world around us and our role in it. It is informed by us, and it informs us. The art is unique. It's a unique result of an artist working in Calgary. Mark Kingswell, a philosophy professor at U of T, said that public art has a particular destabilizing effect on a city that is both vital to its existence and its experience. It seems to me that this statement suggests that the role of the public artist can be one of a civic-minded provocateur. The late Richard Posner, an artist himself, observed that public art practice is a process that embraces both the public and the art as equal sides of the same equation. The public art arena, he said, forces an artist to learn how to become an aesthetic samurai, someone who is visually literate, but streetwise and fluent in both interdisciplinary communication and cross-cultural understanding. For Posner, the completed public artwork shaped by discussion and debate is as important for what it does as for what it is. So to ask why public art is important is to ask, why is Calgary important? And indeed, why am I important? Public art offers us an opportunity to find our own individual meaning and connection to this city that we all share. Thank you.